Welcome to Rich People Club. Let's get real. If you've ever felt stuck financially, chances are it's not your fault. The truth is, you probably missed out on opportunities because your parents never taught you the right lessons about money. Yeah, that stings. But here's the thing. Wealthy families pass down powerful knowledge that builds fortunes from generation to generation, while most people are left playing catch-up, wondering why wealth feels out of reach. This video will uncover the 12 lessons rich parents teach their kids. Lessons that shape their mindset, guide their decisions, and unlock paths to success. If you weren't given this advantage, don't worry. Today is your chance to catch up and even get ahead. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just rewrite your financial story and show you how to build the future you've always dreamed of. Understanding how money works. Rich parents know that understanding money isn't just about adding numbers. They teach their kids to see money like a river, constantly flowing. You have to know where it's coming from, where it's going, and how to control the current. This lesson starts early, with kids learning how much things cost, whether it's groceries or their favorite toys. It's not just about spending, but understanding the value behind every dollar exchanged. These parents introduce real-world scenarios at home. How electricity bills arrive, or how interest on savings can make money grow. For example, some kids might even get a weekly allowance. With a twist, they get to invest part of it. That way, they learn to balance spending and saving. They see firsthand how money can work for them if they let it grow. When kids ask questions like, "Why does dad's business make more money than mom's salary?" it's a golden teaching moment. Parents break down concepts like risk and reward, explaining how some efforts pay more because they involve bigger risks. This mindset encourages kids to think like entrepreneurs instead of just employees. The lesson isn't about becoming a mathematician. It's about becoming comfortable with the language of money. Kids gradually learn that every financial decision has consequences, and they realize wealth grows with intention. Once this foundation is set, they're primed to dive into the next big financial principle, differentiating between assets and liabilities. Differentiating assets from liabilities. Rich parents make sure their kids understand the difference between something that makes them money and something that drains it. Imagine this. A kid wants a fancy new gaming console. Instead of just saying no, parents ask, "How can you make this console an asset?" Maybe by starting a YouTube channel reviewing games or renting it out to friends on weekends. The goal is to spark creative thinking about income. They explain that a house or car isn't automatically a good investment just because it looks valuable. If the item isn't bringing in any cash, it's considered a liability. Kids learn that even flashy things like designer clothes or high-end electronics can pull them away from their financial goals if they aren't smart about it. Parents also encourage kids to start thinking about building assets early. For example, they might suggest buying stocks with part of their allowance or helping with a small family business to understand profit. This teaches that assets, like rental properties or a profitable blog, generate wealth long after the work is done. The real power here is learning control. When kids see their money grow through assets instead of slipping away through liabilities, they understand that wealth isn't just about what you make, but how you manage it. The next step? Shifting their mindset away from entitlement, knowing that nothing comes guaranteed. Avoiding entitlement. Being born into wealth doesn't mean the world owes you anything. And rich parents drill this lesson into their kids. They teach them that every advantage they have comes with responsibility. Instead of allowing kids to assume money will always be there, parents create situations where kids have to earn it. Whether it's helping in the family business or doing chores, they learn that money follows effort. The risk with wealth is complacency. Kids who grow up with everything handed to them can fall into the trap of thinking that success is automatic. That's why parents often let them experience controlled failures. If they blow their allowance, they learn to live without certain luxuries for a while. These small challenges help kids understand that wealth needs constant nurturing. Some families use the third-generation curse as a teaching moment. They explain how wealth is often built by one generation, maintained by the next, but squandered by the third. This history lesson drives home the importance of staying hungry and never settling for the status quo, even when life feels comfortable. If these lessons are resonating with you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Rich People Club. Let us know you're with us by joining the community. After all, every piece of knowledge like this brings you one step closer to the life you deserve. Now, let's move on to the next critical principle: how expanding income trumps cutting expenses every time. Increasing income instead of cutting expenses. For wealthy families, the secret isn't in penny pinching, it's in expanding income streams. Parents teach their kids to ask, "How can I earn more?" instead of worrying about saving a few bucks. They encourage them to take up side projects like tutoring, flipping items online, or starting small ventures so they understand the potential of multiple income sources. While it's easy to fall into the trap of cutting expenses, the rich know this strategy only takes you so far. Sure, they teach their kids to be mindful about waste, like turning off lights or not overspending on takeout. But they emphasize that the real game is played on the income side. The key is learning how to generate more wealth, not just hold on to what you have. These parents provide practical examples, like how investing in a new skill can create income. For instance, a teen learning coding could freelance, or a kid who loves baking could sell treats at school events. The point is to build multiple streams of revenue that grow over time, with minimal additional effort. When kids understand that increasing income is the ultimate freedom tool, they begin to see money differently. It's not just a limited resource. It's something that can expand with the right approach. This lesson naturally leads to the importance of habits, because without discipline, even increased income can slip away. Creating productive daily habits. Rich parents know that success is built on small, consistent actions. They teach their kids to make habits their allies by turning everyday routines into powerful tools. Whether it's reading for 20 minutes before bed or practicing a new skill daily, they ensure their children develop habits that move them toward wealth and success over time. The trick is starting small and staying consistent until these actions become second nature. Parents emphasize the importance of routines that align with long-term goals. A kid who wants to be an athlete is encouraged to build a workout schedule, while a future entrepreneur might develop a habit of researching markets each morning. These habits accumulate over time, and the results, though not immediate, become clear after weeks, months, or even years. The magic of habits lies in their ability to grow exponentially. Just like saving money compounds over time, good habits, whether in learning, health, or productivity, create exponential results. Rich parents model these habits themselves, ensuring kids see firsthand how discipline can build a life of luxury and financial freedom. By the time kids get used to productive habits, they also understand the need to think long-term. They realize the daily grind isn't just about short-term gains, but about creating a future where opportunities multiply and wealth flows naturally. That leads them directly into the next vital lesson: thinking beyond immediate rewards. Thinking long-term. Wealthy parents train their children to think years ahead, sometimes even decades. Instead of looking for instant gratification, they teach that patience and strategy lead to sustainable success. This mindset shifts focus away from fleeting pleasures and toward building wealth that grows over time, like a tree that takes years to bear fruit. A practical example might be investing in stocks for the long haul or saving for a business venture instead of splurging on the latest gadget. Kids are encouraged to make decisions based on their future impact, whether it's career planning, relationships, or financial investments. The goal is to create wealth that lasts. Parents also introduce the concept of compound growth, explaining how long-term efforts, like consistent investments or learning a complex skill, pay off massively. This helps kids avoid the trap of chasing quick money or getting discouraged by early failures. They learn that real success comes to those who plan and execute with patience. This habit of long-term thinking sets the stage for the next lesson, realizing that knowledge is the most powerful asset of all. Because without knowledge, even the best laid plans will crumble when challenges arise. Knowledge is more valuable than money. Rich parents instill in their kids that money comes and goes, but knowledge stays. They encourage children to see learning as an investment that pays dividends throughout life. Whether it's mastering a language, learning how the stock market works, or becoming an expert in a particular field, knowledge gives them an edge in every situation. This isn't just about traditional education. It's about practical knowledge that has real-world value. Parents might enroll their kids in coding classes, teach them about real estate, or encourage them to read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The focus is on becoming a lifelong learner who can adapt and thrive. They also emphasize that knowledge creates opportunities. Someone with expertise can create wealth from scratch, regardless of circumstances. That's why wealthy families often introduce their kids to different fields early on, helping them discover where their strengths lie and how to leverage them. Once kids grasp that knowledge opens doors, they're primed to learn the next critical lesson: how to make money work for them instead of working endlessly for money. Making money work for you. The wealthy understand that real freedom comes when your money starts making more money. Rich parents teach their kids early that working for a paycheck isn't the ultimate goal. It's about building systems where money works even when they're not. This could mean investing in stocks, starting businesses, or owning real estate that generates passive income. For example, instead of buying the latest fashion, kids might learn to invest their allowance in a stock that pays dividends. They quickly realize that smart investments create wealth over time, requiring less direct effort. This lesson shifts their mindset from seeing money as something to spend to viewing it as a tool for generating future income. Parents often encourage kids to experiment with small ventures. Whether it's reselling sneakers or setting up a lemonade stand, they teach how reinvesting profits can grow a business. This hands-on approach shows that even small wins, when compounded, lead to significant gains. With this mindset in place, kids begin to see money as more than a paycheck. It's a resource for solving problems and creating new opportunities. And that naturally leads into the next lesson: mastering the art of problem solving. Solving problems to get rich. Rich parents show their children that wealth isn't just about working harder. It's about solving bigger problems. They explain that every product or service solves a need, and the bigger the need, the bigger the reward. Kids learn to spot problems in the world around them, thinking creatively about how to offer solutions that people will pay for. For example, instead of working a summer job, a kid might create a small online store selling products that solve common issues, like organizational tools for school supplies. This exercise teaches them that being proactive opens doors to wealth, while waiting for someone else to provide solutions keeps them stuck. Parents also emphasize that problem-solving skills apply in every area of life, not just business. From negotiating allowances to organizing a fundraiser, kids see that creative thinking and initiative are powerful tools. The key is learning to think like an entrepreneur, always seeking ways to add value. As kids become comfortable solving problems, they're ready to understand the next concept, using debt wisely as a tool for building wealth rather than falling into financial traps. Distinguishing good debt from bad debt. Debt isn't always the enemy. Rich parents teach their kids that some debts can make you wealthier. They introduce the idea of good debt, like loans used to buy assets that generate income, such as rental properties or a business venture. In contrast, bad debt drains wealth by funding liabilities, like luxury items bought on credit. For example, a parent might explain how taking out a loan to buy a rental property is smart if the rent covers the mortgage. On the other hand, using credit to buy the latest phone only creates financial pressure without adding value. Kids learn that the key is using debt strategically. Parents often involve their kids in real financial decisions. They show them how business owners and investors use borrowed money to scale operations while keeping personal spending under control. This hands-on approach helps kids see debt as a tool rather than a burden. Once kids master the concept of good and bad debt, they're ready to dive into the next lesson, focusing on what truly matters by applying the 80-20 rule to their efforts. Applying the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule teaches that 80% of results often come from just 20% of efforts. Rich parents show their kids how to identify the high-impact activities that yield the greatest returns. Whether it's focusing on key subjects in school or nurturing essential business relationships, they encourage their children to invest their energy where it counts. For example, a student might focus on mastering core subjects like math and English, knowing these will have the biggest impact on future opportunities. The goal isn't to be perfect in everything, but to excel where it matters most. Kids learn that prioritization is essential for success. This principle applies beyond academics. Parents might explain how 20% of their customers generate 80% of their business revenue, teaching their children the importance of focusing on valuable clients and partnerships. The lesson is clear. Don't spread yourself too thin. With the power of focus now ingrained, kids are ready for the final, yet essential, lesson, understanding that humility is key, even when wealth is achieved. Staying humble with wealth. Rich parents teach their kids that money doesn't make them better than anyone else. They emphasize humility, knowing that wealth without character can alienate others. Kids learn that respect is earned through actions, not bank accounts. This mindset keeps them grounded, no matter how successful they become. Parents often model this behavior themselves, showing kindness to employees, waitstaff, and others they interact with. Kids see firsthand that true power lies in treating everyone with respect, regardless of their financial status. They also teach that humility opens more doors than arrogance ever could. A wealthy child who remains humble will attract better relationships and business opportunities. People enjoy working with those who don't flaunt their wealth, but instead share it wisely. This final lesson ties everything together. Wealth is a tool, not an identity. With these principles in place, kids are equipped to build lives of meaning, wealth, and impact, ensuring their success lasts for generations. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to Rich People Club and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the strategies that could transform your financial future. We've put in the effort to bring you the knowledge wealthy families have used for generations. Now it's your turn to put it into action. These lessons are only powerful if you apply them, so start teaching yourself and your kids what it really takes to build wealth. What's the first step you'll take today? Will you start spotting assets in your life, or maybe look into creating a side income stream? Drop your plan in the comments. We want to know. If you're serious about raising future millionaires, these lessons are the foundation. Are you ready to be the kind of parent who gives your kids the same head start the rich enjoy? If yes, let's get started. Because success waits for no one.